Hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, I was just playing a little bit of the Return of the Living Dead soundtrack. Um, we actually watched that not too long ago in the Vineyard with Joel, which that was a lot of fun. Actually, I'd never seen the movie before, but I'd seen James Rolfe do a review of it on Monster Madness, and I don't know, it looked pretty awesome. But it just nothing prepared me for that movie, and it was great. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much. I actually just ordered a copy of it recently, so waiting for that to come in. But hi. Uh, I started a little bit early. Well, early. A little bit later today than I planned. Rather, it would be considered early simply because I on a weekday would be working at this time. Hey, Manic. Um, but yeah. I also discovered that a movie is also on Prime Video right now, so I may actually do a movie night with the people in my Discord if anybody's interested. So we'll see how that goes. But until then, I'm going to do some Gabriel Knights. And before I begin, I'm going to have to emphasize, I'm going to have to backtrack a little bit. And the reason being is because there were some things day one that I missed. And being a Sierra game, I don't know if that screwed me out of I don't know if that screwed me out of the ending or what. So let me get this captured. There we go. I can make this smaller, I think. Yeah, whatever. All right. So yeah, we left off with just a maybe. I kept thinking there was something here at the store that I needed, but I don't think I do need anything here. What I do need to do, though,
I'm going out.
See ya.
is I need to go to Grandma's. Because I forgot to check the box of Dad's stuff.
Gabriel, come in.
Hello,
Hi, Gran.
Amonier? I hope I'm saying your name right. Yeah,
Make
I
yourself
love
at
this
home,
game.
son.
This game is amazing. I actually started playing it after I seen Pushing Up Roses review it.
Granny might get worried if Gabriel stopped.
Can we talk, Gran?
Of course, my boy. How can I help?
Voice acting is already amazing. It is. That's Tim Curry voicing him, by the way.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Marie Laveau. Of course. She was that voodoo woman, wasn't she? She preyed on people's fears and superstitions is what I think. There are always those willing to take other people's money for nothing. You stay away from people like that, Gabriel.
Yes, Gran. Do you know anything about...
I don't know what else.
Snakes?
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? What kind of snakes, dear?
I don't know. Local kinds?
Well, we used to get cottonmouths in the park when I was a girl, but I haven't heard of one being sighted for years. Milk snakes and garter snakes are also around these parts, but they can't hurt you.
Thanks, Gran.
Anything else?
Do you know anything...
I don't know what it...
Alright,
Tell me...
Your mother was Margaret Templeton when your father met her. She came from a very wealthy Creole family in New Orleans. She was beautiful and reckless. She was madly in love with your father, of course, but I also think she liked defying her family.
okay, I'm pretty sure we exhausted all
Tell me
this
about my mother.
the day before.
Your mother's family refused to give her money after the marriage. All she had left was a modest
So I don't know why it's
trust fund
giving me
from
the
a great
dialogue
aunt
again, but
who
okay.
happened to like Philip. The remainder of your mother's trust fund became yours when she died. That's what you use to open your bookshop.
Sorry, that was my phone going off.
Tell me about my mother.
The Templetons are all gone now. Every last one of them. They never wanted anything to do with us, of course. What a waste.
You know, you get prettier every time I see you.
Oh, you.
Bye, Grandma. We're going upstairs now.
I'm going up the attic again.
Enjoy yourself, dear.
Oh, what's that?
I think I'd take Daddy's sketchbook with me.
Okay, yeah, that was one thing that I was definitely missing. So, we're gonna overwrite that. Let us... Wait, why am I doing that? There we are. Yeah, Mosley was Mark Hamill, and I think Frick was Jim Cummings. And then the motorcycle cop was the guy that does, well, voice Johnny Bravo.
Images haunt the pages of Philip Knight's sketchbook, the way they must have haunted his mind. The images touch a deep chord in Gabriel. So familiar are they that he finds it hard to believe they aren't from his own subconscious. Images haunt the...
Okay,
Images...
I don't know if we do anything with
The
this
old
yet.
trunk look like it's gone to an elaborate mechanical clock, probably of German origin, is among the discarded treasures of the attic. It doesn't seem to be running at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, let's punch the clock. That seems like a great idea.
An elaborate... Using that on the clock won't help. The face of the clock is hand-painted. Nothing happens. The hands do not appear to have any mechanical function other than to move.
Okay, so
That
can't I move them that way, or... Oh. Oh, right.
Nothing happens.
God, I'm trying to remember how this went. Because I remember doing this in, like, the first time that I played this. This technically isn't the first time I played this. I have played it before, but it was only, like, up to a point, and then I sadly never came back to it. That was kind of my own fault. I ended up doing something else and then just kind of left streaming for a while because I started working. I'm still working, by the way. I'm just trying to be better at doing this. You remember playing it in the 20th century, too? Yeah, I'm sorry to say, like, a lot of the, A lot of the adventure games that I finally got around to playing, I didn't play until I was older. Because, like, growing up, we only had an NES, and then we had a Sega Genesis, and then we had a Super Nintendo, so I never got to play, like, a lot of the, the different adventure games. Oh, thank you, Marcus. Marcus, you've got one of the first badges.
The key. Nothing happens.
Nothing happens, huh?
Images. Images.
Okay, is there anything else to this or no? Probably not. There's 3 snakes. That appears to be the medallion that we keep seeing in the cutscene. I was thinking there was something to the clock in this, but I guess maybe not. I'm also not. I'm also open to, like, if anybody wants to give me suggestions on what to do.
Nothing happens.
Because, like I said, I've been a while since I've
of the
messed with
clock.
this.
The face.
I'm not trying to move the face of the clock.
Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
You can move the patterns around the clock too. Really? Oh, that's right.
Why move that part of the clock?
I forgot that's a thing you can do.
Nothing happens.
Unfortunately, it wasn't enough for me to remember what to do with it. I'm pretty sure there are things at the bookstore that I did miss, though. Because I think there was, like, a gift certificate that I was supposed to grab or something.
Why move that part of the clock?
Because I wanna. Alright, I don't think I'm actually supposed to do this yet. Alright, let's take a look around then. What was in this?
Gabriel, that box of knickknacks has been up there for at least 5 years.
Alright, we have other places we can go to.
Well, Gran, I'd better get going.
All right, dear.
So, we got the sketchbook here. I thought you were supposed to get it at the bookstore though. Maybe I'm wrong. We do need to go here. Because if I remember correctly,
Gabriel looks
Let me try to get this down.
there we go. That was another thing that I forgot to do because I didn't have the sketchbook.
There seems to be a pattern to the lines in the sand. But if there is a pattern, it's smeared. There's only one small area that's clearly defined. There seems...
Okay, so I guess we have to look at the book in order to see that.
Gabriel looks fondly at his father.
No, it's right there.
The partial pattern from the crime scenes intrigues Gabriel. What does it mean?
Can we look at it though? There we go. It almost looks runic. Well, not really runic, but like something that you would see, like a sigil or something. You know what I mean? Or maybe that's just me being a nerd. I don't know. Alright, we took care of that. That's the Getty Estate. I don't really want to go there
Please
yet.
select a destination.
Go to the Moonbeam residence.
Welcome, Seeker. You must be the one Dr. John called me about.
I guess so. My name is...
Wait? Gabriel Knight?
You're too quick for me.
Actually, Dr. John told me. You have come to the right place, Mr. Knight. Tell me how I can help.
Okay,
Magenta Moonbeam is wrapped in gauze and silks. She looks vaguely mysterious and mysteriously vague.
Could I ask you a few questions?
Of course, Seeker.
she looks like Luna Lovegood.
Tell me about yourself.
Yes? What would you like to hear?
How'd you get into this business?
I
Thank you,
trained
Jen.
in the voodoo arts for many years with the great Queen
I hope you're
Tabitha.
doing well.
Really? Who's she?
You have never heard of her? For shame! I can see you know little of the world of magic.
I'm beginning to get that impression, yes.
What kind of people come to see you?
What kind of people come to see you?
Seekers after the truth, such as yourself.
What else do you do?
Do you do anything else?
I am a voodoo yen, and that is plenty. It takes much spiritual effort.
How many voodoo yens are there?
No one knows exactly. Many practice in secret. There are probably hundreds. But of course the level and the power of the voodoo yens differ greatly, depending on their training and natural gifts.
Hey, Joe. What do you mean you told me so? What are you talking about?
Tell me anything at all.
I haven't always lived in New Orleans. I came here from Kansas as a young woman.
Oh, Mark Hamill, that's right. Agent, yeah, I love point and clicks. This is the first one I plan on doing. I don't know if I'm going to do the other two, though, to this series. I'm thinking about doing the Colonel's Bequest, since that looked like it was interesting. I know it doesn't have any voice acting in it, though. Yeah, it's been a little quiet, but it's not been bad. I hope you're doing all right. You know, just trying to keep busy and stuff. He still looks like Conan O'Brien. He does. Well, Conan O'Brien, except, you know, without the big forehead.
Anything at all.
I began studying voodoo more than 20 years ago. I am well versed in the magical art.
Tell me anything at all.
Many non-believers come to me. They are usually believers when they leave.
See, he looks like Conan O'Brien, right? She looks like Luna Lovegood. Let's be honest here.
Tell me anything at all.
Dr. John sends me many seekers such as yourself.
Tell me anything at all.
I am happy here with my clientele and my snake.
Wait, you have a snake?
Tell me anything at all.
I haven't always lived in New Orleans. I came here from Kansas as a young
Oh,
woman.
I think she's repeating dialogue now. Okay, I can't think of anything else.
I can't think of anything.
Very well.
Alright, down to business. Voodoo.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
My practice is mainly selling charms and potions with magic power, such as gree-gree and voodoo oils. You know, everything from unrequited love to wandering spouses to winning a lawsuit. But my spells and charms are powerful, and they work.
So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I actually have like 4 bottles of... they're just like... How do I want to phrase this? They're more like curiosities than anything. Like, I don't use them, but I have like 4 bottles of voodoo oil. And it's really kind of interesting how they make it.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Much of a voodoo yen's work is protecting her clients from the spell of others. I make special protective gree-gree to be worn in secret.
They also smell nice
They
too.
keep evil spells from working against my clients.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
The recipes for voodoo charms have been handed down from master to apprentice for centuries.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
I have told you all it is proper for you to know, Monsieur Knight.
Okay, what about the
What do
murders?
you know about the voodoo murders?
Why, that has nothing to do with me and my clientele. But I can tell you
Thank
that
you.
you should stay as far from it as possible.
Thank you so
There
much.
is badness there. Very bad.
Should I ask her again? I feel kind of bad about this. Screw it, doing it
So you
again.
don't
Fake? Let me tell you about fake.
Uh-oh.
If I get information through the grapevine and make use of it, is that fake? No. That is part of a voodoo yen's power. If people don't believe, there is not much I can do. But if they do believe, that is a part of my power too. But there are things, monsieur. Things not even a little bit fake, I can tell you. Believe it or not, but stay away from it.
What do you mean? Do you know something about the case?
Uh-oh.
I work hard on fine-tuning my spiritual antenna, Monsieur Knight. And I get a clear signal from that direction. Beware.
The only thing I don't like about point and click sometimes is it really feels like you're about to piss off the other character really badly.
What do you mean?
I work...
Okay, New Orleans.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
Nolans.
New Orleans is the center of voodoo practice in the United States.
Anything else?
What can you tell me about...
It is a fascinating city with many dark secrets.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
It is my favorite place in the world.
What can you...
It is my favorite...
Okay, snakes.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? You mean like my beloved Grimwald? She's a python, you know.
Grimwald,
Quite
that's a
deadly
great name
in the
for a
wrong
snake.
hands. I was trained by one of the great voodoo queens to learn how to hypnotize and handle snakes.
I've actually been curious as to whether or not voodoo queens actually still exist.
Tell me more about snakes.
Oh, I wouldn't want to give away my trade secrets.
It wouldn't surprise me if they do.
Tell...
Oh, I would...
Okay, Marie Laveau?
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Oh, yes. She was the first of the great voodoo queens.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
She ruled voodoo in New Orleans for 100 years, they say.
Man, this makes me want to watch American Horror Story again. The third season is probably one of my favorites. Oh, I'm sorry, CG. Well, message me later. I should still be around. Conversations with other characters in point and click are pretty one-way talk. And here Gabriel doesn't tell much about himself in these conversations. It's true. He's just like, oh, tell me about yourself. And it's like, well, what about you, Mr. Knight? Just tell me about yourself. Just do it. Just do it. It's fine.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
I'm sure a historian could help you with that, if you want to know more.
Yeah, I got D&D tonight as well. That's not for another... What time is it? That's not for another 5 hours, though, so... Okay, Grimwald.
About Grimwald.
What about her?
Where'd you get Grimwald?
She belonged to a traveling reptile show. She was being terribly mistreated, so I offered to buy her. She's named after a spirit guide I had once. The spirit Grimwald was a very powerful female snake priestess in Egyptian times.
Grimwald doesn't sound Egyptian.
I only know what the spirits tell me. Monsieur, I am sure they know better than we.
Okay.
How'd you learn to handle Grimwald?
I told you a great voodoo queen taught me. She learned from Marie Laveau herself.
Ah, fascinating. Would you consider giving me one of Grimwald's scales?
No, I couldn't do that. You might do some gree-gree of your own, no? One must be very careful with such things. Hair clippings, nail parings, and snake scales.
How about showing me how you handle Grimwald?
I guess I can ask that
Really?
again.
You would like to see me dance, perhaps?
Wait, what?
That would be swell.
Gabriel, not now!
I won't make you wait, Monsieur Knight.
What?
No matter what you see, do not be frightened.
What?
I'll give it my best shot.
They are truly inspiring, isn't it?
That's certainly one word for it.
I'm sorry. What?
Could I ask you a few more questions?
Certainly.
About Grimwald.
What about her?
We can ask her to dance again. Can we ask about the
Are you
same?
sure you wouldn't consider giving me one
Scale?
of Grimwald's scales?
I told you I couldn't do that.
Alright,
Tell me anything at all.
You have to be careful when handling a snake. They're more delicate than they look.
I'll bet.
you literally spun it around. I'm surprised it's not, like, regurgitating its guts right now.
Tell me anything at all.
Many people are afraid of snakes. Isn't that silly?
Totally.
My mom's one of those people. She absolutely hates snakes.
Tell me anything at all.
Snakes shed their skins from time to time. You have to be especially careful of them when they're shedding.
I'll keep it in mind.
They are good boot noodles. I've never had one simply because my mom just absolutely hates snakes. Like, she can't stand them. I don't know what it is about them she doesn't like, but, you know.
Tell me anything at all.
Grimwald is very responsive to vibration. She doesn't recognize her name, but if I stomp 3 times, she looks right at me.
Yeah, but what if you spin her around several
Tell
times?
me anything at all.
You have to be careful when handling a snake. They're more delicate than they look.
Alright.
I'll bet.
Um,
Nothing. Never mind.
All right?
Give me an example of a gris-gris.
All right. Here's an old one. Take a lodestone and some brimstone to a crossroads at midnight. Light the brimstone with a match, and a spirit will come and give you advice in gambling.
Give me an example of a gris-gris.
Here's an old
Don't
voodoo
like how he
Dr.
says that.
Gree-Gree. Place a dime under your client's tongue, and if the client is under a spell of any kind, the dime will turn black.
Give me an example of a gris-gris.
To send someone away, take a rotten egg and write that person's name on it 9 times. You can also write on it where you want to send that person to. Take it and throw it against his door at midnight.
so that's why people get egged on Halloween. I don't know if that's true or not, but would it surprise you at this point? I mean, really? Anything else?
Give me an example of a gris-gris.
Here's a nasty one. To kill someone, get a sock or a shoe that belongs to that person. Put graveyard dirt in it and bury it under their front steps.
Does that work?
I don't know. I never tried it.
I don't like the direction this went.
Give me an example of a gris-gris.
To ensure the safety of your child, cut a lock of its hair while it is still a baby and keep it with you. The child must have all its hair before it can die.
These are interesting.
They're very old. The gree-gree that I prepare is much more powerful, I can assure you, but I don't give out those secrets.
I mean, what? I know, right? I don't... I don't think she has anything
Give
else
me an
there.
example of a gris-gris.
All right.
Yeah, she's
Here's
repeating
an
dialogue.
old one.
Okay. Is there anything in this
Tell me about
category that we
yourself.
haven't covered? Okay, never
I
mind.
can...
What about...
Are you Are you...
We're gonna make her do the dance again.
How about...
It is inspiring, is it not? All right.
Yeah, that went really dark.
I shall again amaze you.
You certainly will.
She looks like Luna Lovegood, but she reminds me of Misty Day from American Horror Story. Kind of. There is a point in making her dance? Oh, okay. I did not know that.
They are truly inspiring, isn't it?
That's certainly one word for it.
A large crystal ball is prominently displayed. A large sluggish snake rests on the floor of the fancy bird cage. Apparently, Magenta is not a fastidious housekeeper. A shed skin shares the cage with its original owner. It's a large cluster of quartz crystals. The Moonbeam residence looks like a cross between a voodoo temple and a Victorian fortune teller's parlor by way of Haight Street. The mask is made of carved wood and looks African.
Could I ask you,
Certainly. What about her?
Dance again!
how about showing me your snake dance again?
It is inspiring, is it not? All right. I shall again amaze you.
You certainly will.
Except for
Okay,
Gilbert
Yoink.
grabs the shed snake skin while Magenta is otherwise occupied.
and she doesn't notice.
Truly inspiring, isn't
She
it?
doesn't notice!
That's certainly one word for it.
The Moonbeam Magenta's bottles probably contain secret ritual concoctions.
Divine Blind. I know, right? If there was ever any perfect time to use that was it right there.
The Moonbeam. It's an old-fashioned parlor lamp hung with crystal.
This would be an awkward time to mention I actually do own a crystal ball. It's a small one, but I do own one.
A large crystal ball is
What is that?
the Moonbeam
Oh,
The moon.
okay. I don't think there's anything else we really need to do here, so I'm just gonna exit.
Well, I guess I'll be gone now.
Excuse me, Joe.
Peace and
Excuse
harmony
me.
be yours.
Right.
Let's see. Napoleon House. I'm gonna go to the drugstore, because we never actually talked to this guy. We just kind of stepped in, heard that conversation, and then that was it.
Hi.
Uh-huh.
Alright, hello, friend.
Mind if I ask you a few questions?
Ask what you want. I'll answer what I want.
He seems nice.
Tell me about yourself.
My name's Willie Walker. I own the place.
Oh my god, he kind of looks like the Redguard knight in Oblivion that gets locked in the house with you. You know the one.
Tell me about yourself. How did you get into this kind of business?
Why should I discuss my business with you, man?
I was just curious. You don't have to...
Tell me about yourself. How did you get into this kind of...
Okay, he's not gonna say anything.
Have you ever heard of Marie Laveau?
Marie? She's somebody from the old days. One of those folk tales. Oh, the tourists eat it up, none.
I don't think you actually pronounced the other N in that, but okay.
Have you ever heard of Marie Laveau?
I don't know much, monsieur. Someone at the Voodoo Museum could tell you all about her.
Alright, what about,
That customer of yours, the little old lady?
Customer?
The woman I saw in here. Madame Cazeneuve, you called her.
I don't talk about my customers to men who come in off the street.
It's important that I talk to Madame Cazeneuve. You see, I'm doing some research and...
I can't tell you anything about her.
It's important that
I can't tell...
okay,
Do you know anything about snakes?
What kind of snakes?
The kind they use in voodoo?
Pythons and boas. So I've heard.
Really? Do you have one?
Are you crazy? What would I want with a python?
never
Do
know.
you know anything about...
I've already told...
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
I've lived here all my life, me.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
I'm a busy man, monsieur. Don't get out of my neighborhood much.
Oh.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
If you're not from around here, monsieur, you should sign up for some tours.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
If you're not from around here...
Okay, Twitch just now told you I went live? Wow.
Can
Good
you tell
going,
me what
Twitch.
You know about voodoo?
This is a novelty shop, monsieur.
Do you know
Do
anything?
you think I'm stupid? This is a voodoo shop. Look at all this stuff.
These are novelties, curiosities. If people want to think they're magic, it's not my concern, you know.
Are you telling me that you own a voodoo shop, but you know nothing about voodoo practices?
Ça fait n'est pas affaire blanc.
What does that mean?
Means you should mind your own business, monsieur.
Harsh.
Look, I'm researching voodoo for a book.
I don't have your answers, B. Do you want to buy something, monsieur?
Look,
Okay,
what do you know about the voodoo murders?
Cabri Sancour.
What did you say?
Nothing, nothing. Those killings have nothing to do with my shop, monsieur.
What did you mean when you said Cabri Sancour?
I didn't say that.
You did. I heard you say it.
You heard wrong, monsieur. I said no such thing.
What did you mean?
I did.
okay. So, I think we probably need to go talk to Michael Dorn again. I know that's not his name, but I'm calling him that.
I'm doing the best I can. Dr. John.
Glad you could return to us, Mr. Knight.
French and my English is terrible. Really? Oh. Oh, your English seems fine.
Could I ask you some more questions?
Of course. I also find our dialogue stimulating.
I detect sarcasm from this guy. So yeah, what does this mean?
Do you have any idea what Caprice encore means?
I fear my French is not all it should be, Mr. Knight.
I don't believe him.
You're sure you haven't heard the term Caprice encore?
I am sure, Mr. Knight.
Hey Thor. It is Michael Dorn.
I am.
Is the snake yours? Do you use it in your practice of voodoo?
How you doing, Thor?
I admire the spirit of the snake, Mr. Knight. But snakes like the museums can be quite dangerous to handle.
You didn't really answer my question.
I think I did, Mr. Knight.
I'd really like to know more about your snake.
There is really nothing more to say, Mr. Knight.
This is like a pickup line. I'd really like to know more about your snake. I'm sorry, chat. I don't mean to traumatize anyone.
Tell me about voodoo.
Historical voodoo? Or the voodoo currently practiced in the city?
What? Tell me more.
You have tapped my
Is-
Not.
I don't think there's anything
Tell me
else.
more.
You have heard everything about Marie Laveau that a layman might expect to understand.
Do you have anything else to say about New Orleans?
I have already given you my opinion, Mr. Knight.
I'm gonna end up making him
Damn.
mad.
What more?
Just tell me anything.
I am originally from the West Indies myself, you know.
Really? What brought you to New Orleans?
I was drawn here for personal reasons.
Actually, I can't think of a thing.
Then, let us discuss something else.
I'm gonna go now. Bye.
Goodbye, Dr. John.
Goodbye, Mr. Knight.
I don't think he's amused with us right now. Oh right, we haven't been here yet.
The marks are reddish in color and reminds Gabriel of crosses. They look like they've been here a few days at least. Near the Laveau tomb is a piece of red brick. Undoubtedly a cast-off from spiritual
Oh, thank you,
graffiti
Thor.
writers.
I appreciate that. Alright, what are these?
Food, trinkets, and more unsettling things have been left at Marie Laveau's tomb as offerings from believers.
Okay,
Food, trinkets, and more unsettling things have been left at Marie Laveau's tomb as offerings. A stone angel stands silently before a tomb.
A marble snake. Now that's cheerful.
This is the tomb of Marie Laveau, Voodoo Queen of New Orleans. odd-looking marks adorn the Laveau tomb wall.
Yeah, let's use this.
I want a copy of these strange marks.
Alright, anything else here?
New Orleans is famous for its above-ground tombs. The high water table prevents bodies from being interred underground. The name Ross is inscribed on this old tomb.
Can I pick up some of these?
No thanks.
No? Okay.
No thanks.
Gabriel doesn't want to disturb that.
Alright, what about this tomb then?
This old tomb is in a sorry state of disrepair.
There's probably no one left in the family to maintain it.
The tomb is securely closed. The tomb is securely closed.
I don't know why I'm trying to open it.
An angel with a cross stands guard over one of the tombs.
I'm gonna talk to this guy.
I'm sorry to bother you.
What you need, boy?
Mind if I pick your brain a minute?
Go ahead. These folks ain't in no hurry.
Holy shit, dude, that got dark.
Tell me something about St. Louis Cemetery, #1.
You know why the dead are buried in tombs, not in the ground, don't you? The water table's too high. Them coffins would float right out of their graves. Them dead would go floating right down into the water. Cause if it was Mardi Gras, nobody'd even notice.
All that reminds me of is that scene from Oh Brother or Art Thou where the valley gets flooded and you just see this coffin shoot up out of the water.
Tell me something about St. Louis Cemetery, #1.
It's a historical place. People buried in here from the Civil War and back further too. Take a look around, you'll see.
Tell me something about St. Louis Cemetery, #1.
Just look around, just look around. You get the feel of the place.
I like this guy.
Tell me something.
Just look.
Okay, how about
Tell
yourself?
me about yourself.
My name is Toussaint Gervais. I'm the watchman here at St. Louis #1.
What exactly do you do here?
Oh, I keep the place tidy, cause, but a big part of my job, too, is looking out for the grievers, you know. People come to pay their respects, and they need looking out for. Sometimes they so grief-bound they don't know what they do.
Oh, thank you, Marcus. Really appreciate that. You have a good day at work. Yeah, Thor, it's funny you mentioned that. Because Musix just mentioned earlier that, he totally looks like Conan O'Brien. Although he didn't call him sexy and cool, but he would be a sexy, cool Conan O'Brien. Whereas the originals is kind of, it's just Conan. I just realized I still don't have sub badges. I need to do something with sub badges, but I don't even really know what. I had ideas, but I don't really know what I would do with them. I'll come up with something, I'm sure, but until then. Let's see,
Tell me about yourself.
That's about all there is to say.
Okay. Snakes.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? I see snakes around here all the time. Most of them ain't poisonous, of course.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Oh, I didn't mean to do
They
that.
say it was part of an old religion from Africa, brought here by slaves.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
I don't really care to talk about it. I don't do it none myself.
That is an amazing staff.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Ain't it just awful, them finding those bodies with voodoo things around them? I don't think there's any real voodoo going on. Somebody's trying to cover their tracks is all.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
I told you all I know about that.
Okay, okay. Nolans?
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
Seems like everybody want to visit New Orleans at least once in their lives. And they love the cemetery tour. I see tourists in here every day of the year.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
There's lots of things to see here, but none are as beautiful as the St. Louis Cemetery number 1.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
Hey, if you want to know more, you should ask somebody else.
Alright, now we'll get down to brass tacks here.
Do you have any idea what Caprice encore means?
No, can't say that I do.
No?
Do you?
No,
Okay.
What do you?
I don't.
I think that pretty much covers everything,
Tell
yeah?
me.
Just look.
Alright. Okay, so we will take a look around.
The Wright family tomb. Several of Gabriel and Grant's family members are laid to rest here. The Wright family tomb. Vases seem to be a favorite decoration for the dead. A high iron fence with sharp spikes surrounds the cemetery.
God, one of the creepiest moments.
Several generations of an old New Orleans family rest here in relative peace.
One of the creepiest things that I'd seen in, well, not creepiest, but like most disturbing things that I've seen in American Horror Story was like knocking out one of the witches and then just enclosing her in one of these tombs. Like, holy shit, dude. That's brutal. Is there any other parts of the cemetery we can go check out, or maybe not? I don't know. Oh.
A stone angel leads down to gaze at something unseen. An angel draped dramatically over a stone plinth marks the entrance to a large tomb. The imposing tomb is elaborately labeled Gede. This old tomb has a sword carved into the stone below the name of the deceased. This tomb is smaller than most others in the cemetery.
Kind of a pup tent for the dead.
To the east there is only the back wall of the cemetery. Gabriel cannot go any further in that direction.
Alright, we'll go back this way then. Actually, no, wait, is there anything in these?
Two enormous vases flank the front of the Getty tomb. Two...
If I want to open up, I'll go to a shrink.
The vases don't function. The tomb is closed tightly. The heavy marble... The tomb...
Okay, well. I don't know what I was thinking, but whatever, it's a Sierra game. That's my defense. Why can't I exit?
You've already...
Alright, Napoleon House? Jackson Square Overlook. We'll check that out.
St. Louis Cathedral. The original church on this site was built in 1724 and was named for Louis IX of France. That church burnt in the Great Fire of 1788. The present church dates from 1851. Jackson Square proper lies below. The presbytery. This building was begun by the Spaniards in 1795 after a fire in Jackson Square. It was intended for monks, but now it houses historical exhibits. The Pontalba buildings are historical landmarks, built in 1849 and 1850 as residential apartments.
Can we look at this?
4 pairs of binoculars are rigorously mounted on the cement floor.
Can we use them?
That doesn't work that way.
Well, you know what? I tried.
4
Okay.
Gabriel is standing on the balcony of a building across the street from Jackson Square. On the balcony are 4 mounted binoculars.
Well, yes, but okay. I'm gonna go to Napoleon House. It's that guy again.
A street drummer has found a spot outside the Napoleon House.
How much of that still exists after Katrina? That's a good question. I have no idea.
Could I ask you a few questions?
Sure. I'm not too busy at the moment.
Oh my god. This guy's face is great.
Tell me about the street musicians around here.
I like
Use the
music as much
binoculars?
as the next guy, but they get pretty monotonous sometimes. You know, like that drummer right outside. They say there's been a drummer outside Napoleon House since the day it opened. I like drums, but this character really gets on my nerves. It sounds like the same thing over and over. I just want to say, enough already.
Sounds like my life. Tell me about this.
Don't know what else I could say.
What can you tell me about your regulars in here?
This crowd, the ones you see, are mostly regulars. That guy and girl in the corner come here a lot. When they're not fighting, they're all over each other.
Oh my.
In other words, they're in love.
Well, that's kind of okay.
What can you tell me about your regulars in here?
See those old guys at the chess table? That's Sam and Marcus. They played every day for 20 years. Sam, the one with the purple jacket, he's lost every one of those games. It's not that he's a bad player. I've seen him beat guys twice as good as Marcus. But Marcus has Sam so psyched out, he loses his nerve every time.
What can you tell me about your regulars in here?
I'd call you a regular, Gabe. And one of our local writer celebrities, too. Been coming in here, what, 10 years now?
Don't remind me.
We're still waiting for that bestseller.
Don't hold your breath.
They probably don't.
What can you tell me about...
That's about all I can say about this crowd.
Tell me about
Tell
yourself.
me about yourself.
A good bartender listens to other people's life stories without telling his own.
So, no, then.
Tell me about...
A good
Okay.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
voodoo. I don't believe in it myself. I invented a drink once called Laveau's Tune, but it wasn't very popular. Some people do believe, though.
Who is this guy?
Even some of our regulars here at Napoleon House. That guy Sam, the chess player, oh, he's really into voodoo. He's always talking about spells and gree-gree and stuff.
Really? Right. Thanks. What can you tell...
I'm no expert.
Who is
What do you
this
know about
guy's voice
the
actor? He
voodoo
sounds familiar to
murders?
me.
It's all over the papers. Some kind of serial killings.
What do you know?
They say a lot of voodoo stuff is found near the bodies.
What do you know?
Everybody's talking about them. It's starting to scare off the tourists.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Everybody's talking about them. It's starting to scare off the tourists.
Alright, Nolans.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
Greatest city in the world. I'd never want to live anywhere else.
I don't think he has, like, an official name. If he does, he hasn't said anything about it. I think he's just the bartender.
What do you know?
Everybody's talking.
What can you tell me?
This city must get 1 million tourists a year, especially around Mardi Gras.
Poor Officer Frick absolutely hates Mardi Gras.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
A lot of people come here because they think it's mysterious. All that talk about voodoo.
Voodoo.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
You should probably find a book on the subject, you know.
But it's so much fun to talk about it. Come on, man. Let's see. How about snakes?
Do you know anything about snakes?
What about them?
Oh, just anything?
Man, you ask the weirdest questions. I don't know anything about snakes.
Okay, so this voice actor, Monty Markham. He's still doing work to this day. What do I know him from, though? I'm trying to think of what I know him from. He was in Murder, She Wrote. He was in Golden Girls, I guess. The A-Team? That's kind of weird. He was the narrator for a biography TV series. That was mid-90s. He voiced President Kimball in New Vegas. Really? Okay.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I told you I don't.
Okay. Marie Laveau.
Have you ever heard of Marie Laveau?
Sure. She's kind of the patron saint of voodoo in New Orleans. Don't know too much about her, but tourists sure get off on all that stuff.
Please don't word it like that. I don't like how he said that.
Have you ever heard of Marie Laveau?
There's a voodoo museum in town.
He's 84 now.
They know more
He was
about it
Blanche's
than I
father
do.
in a couple of Golden Girls episodes. Wow.
Have you ever heard of...
There's a voodoo...
Okay, Cabri
Does the
Sanko?
phrase Cabri sans corps mean anything to you?
You know what goes in it?
Son
I
of a...
don't think it's a drink.
Oh. Then I probably don't know anything about it.
Well, we tried.
So what has Sam told you about voodoo?
Well, about 50 years ago, Sam was too shy to talk to this pretty girl he was in love with. He
Aww.
went to a voodooine and had her make him a love charm. It was a little pouch that he had to bury under the girl's front porch. Well, he buried the pouch, and the next day, he went up and talked to the girl, and sure enough, she didn't reject him. Now she's his wife. Poor guy.
What the fuck?
So what has Sam...
That's about all I can remember.
What's that supposed to mean? I have questions, but I dread answers. Alright, who's this guy?
Can I ask you some questions?
I'm here to relax, friend. Buzz off.
Right. Sorry.
Could have been nicer about it, jeez.
Excuse me. I hate to interrupt your game, but could I ask you a few questions?
What game? This isn't a game. It's a slaughter.
He's right, you know, so let me die in peace, would you?
Wow.
Sorry to bother you, but could I ask you a few questions?
I'm not the chatty type, am I, Sam?
No, you old bastard, you're not.
Besides, I'm busy sucking poor old Sam dry. Go bug someone else.
You're a real sweetheart, Marcus, you bastard.
You bastard. I'm sorry. I like them too, they're great.
Can I ask you some questions?
I'm trying to be with my lady here, pal.
Far be it from me to stand in the way of romance.
Okay, I'm gonna save. And I'm gonna try talking to her. And before bar fight.
Can I ask you...
Sure. You want to know my son?
On second thought, I don't think you could help. Forget it.
I tried. I don't know why, but part of me was kind of hoping for a bar fight. Okay, we'll be back there later. The angry hiss from the Muppets. Kind of. Hey, Smarty. Listen, Smarty, we'll have a Nerf gun fight later.
The chancel of St. Louis Cathedral consists of a raised dais, an altar, 2 pedestals, and a choir area.
Hope you're doing well today. I tried to watch some of Darren's stream last night, but it was just so late and I kept nodding off that I just gave up and went to bed. It was just one of those things. I was so exhausted after work yesterday. It was like, ugh. That was why there was no stream yesterday, by the way. I was out of it. That and I got mind fucked over in Gears chat. That was great.
Fancy.
Oh yeah, that is another change from when I last streamed, by the way. Because you guys knew that I had 2 dogs. I had Oscar and I had Fancy.
At least the cherubs are an aesthetic way of asking for donations.
And sadly, Oscar's not with us anymore. He passed on about a month ago now. So, yeah, he was a good boy. I'm keeping his emote around anyway because, you know, he was my boy and I still love him. He may not be here, but, you know. He was a good boy. He was a cutie, and he was my cutie, and I miss him.
Flags of the world are displayed from the upper story. A promotion of the universal harmony, no doubt.
Alright, is there any place I can go to in here? But yeah, I wanted to mention that because we still have Fancy. I mean, she's around here.
There. That's the priest part of the confessionals.
Oh, right. Let's go confess our sins, I guess.
May I help you, my child? Could you give me a blessing? Do you feel the need for a blessing, son? You wouldn't believe me if I told you. All right, if it will comfort you.
The priest blesses Gabriel through the confessional window.
Peace be with you, son. Thank you, Father.
Bless. The stream is now blessed. Oh, we ended up out here.
Could I ask you some questions?
I'd rather not. I really get focused when I'm drawing.
Okay, fine.
Keep getting to see a Miller Lite ad. Huh.
The juggler is busy.
See, I know they have ads for affiliates now, but I don't really want to use them. Like, I'm glad that it's an option, but I don't really want to use them personally. Of course, Twitch has to put their own ads in there, so. You were surprised because it's booze. I know, right? Man, look at that guy go! Hey, can I talk to her? Or him, or whatever that person is? Mind if I ask you?
If I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, I'm mind, all right.
Why?
'Cause A, I don't know anything, and B, I'm busy.
He sounds like a cross between Squidward and Johnny Bravo.
A small boy is tap dancing enthusiastically for a lucky dog vendor. The vendor ignores him.
Look at him go, though. Holy crap. Yeah, Squidward, exactly. Do, 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 do. For some reason on this screen it feels like the dialogue just lags. Okay, guess we'll go to the PD. Hello, Officer Frick.
Got a second, officer?
What can I do you for?
Do you know what caprice encore means?
Can't say that I do.
It's Mosley in.
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He's in his office. Go on back.
Cool. Actually, I get the feeling I probably don't want to do that because I feel like it's going to, I feel like it's probably going to, progress us through the day. So I'm actually going to leave to the bookstore and see if there is anything that I miss. Because I feel like there's something there that I've forgotten and I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like there was like a gift certificate or something.
I knew you'd miss me, so I came back.
The excitement of seeing you is killing me.
I detect sarcasm.
That doesn't work that way.
Well, why not?
Gabriel opens the cash register to examine the tape. Or, in the case of St. George Brooks, the mistake.
Wow. Alright, so what's in here?
It's a gift certificate left over from yet another dismal failure of a promotion. The cash register contains about $20 in small bills and change.
Gabriel, that's all the change money I have. Touch it, and you could kiss your hand goodbye.
Would I do that to you? I trust you can live without this old gift certificate.
Knock yourself out.
Bitch, I might. I mean, what?
Gabriel does not want to work on the damaged. Gabriel's had all those books in the bathroom. The Gabriel cannot. That doesn't. Gabriel can. The books. There is not.
Don't think it can be soft lock as long as you haven't done all that is mandatory. You won't pass the next day. Okay. I did not know that. Wait. What if I?
Moving that would do little good. There is no. Why? Grace would have. St. George's book. That shelf holds used copies of the dimes. They just leak. St. George. That shelf. That shelf holds. Under the window are reference books, dictionaries, foreign language dictionaries, quotation books, and others. Gabriel borrows them often when he's writing. The books on the table have been...
Okay, but I could have swore there was something that I'm missing here.
Gabriel's had all... Gabriel's... Gabriel leaves...
Spiel?
Gabriel find those pot... The books on that top shelf include mysteries and other pulp novels from the 50s and 60s. All medical reference texts are stored on an upper shelf. Real old. The books on the desk all need repair work. The top shelf contains a set of German books that once belonged to Gabriel's grandfather.
Oh, can I take one of those then?
Gabriel selects a volume of German poetry that he always found strangely compelling.
Drei Drachen. Drei Drachen kriechen in meinen Schlaf. Die Ziele wollen sie lebendig zum Fraß.
Where's Marcus? He would have a field day with this.
Geschweltener Zunge. Genießen sie jedes Mal.
Oh wait, Marcus
That's
is alright.
nice. Kinda creepy, though. Who's the author?
Hans Ritter. I'm not sure what it says, but I get the feeling the guy was one sick puppy.
Puppy. Maybe. Can I open the drawer?
Gabriel doesn't even... Gabriel...
Alright,
Gabriel leaves...
Himmel?
Gabriel's had all... Gabriel cannot... Gabriel...
he can take it if he wants.
Gabriel...
Dry means 3.
Wait, so...
Gabriel pulls down a book on snakes.
Snakes are legless reptiles. Some snakes kill their prey with poison, some by constriction.
A snake smells by tasting the air with its forked tongue. The smells are passed back to a sense organ in the mouth. Constrictor snakes, however, sense their prey by vibration.
Did you know that medieval legends about dragons and giant worms are actually based on snakes? You know, dragons, devils, sea monsters, well, they've always been associated with snakes.
Grace, get alive.
Now, was there anything left at the crime scene? Because I think... I'd gotten the scale, I'd gotten the sketch of the markings, but I don't know if there's anything else there.
I've got some things I need to do.
Have fun.
I don't know why, but I just feel like I might be missing something here. Did we check this out?
Out, damn the spot. Will these pristine banks ne'er be cleaned again?
Also, that bass line, holy crap.
Gabriel is our... It's very large grass.
Yeah, but there's like a spot right here where we found the scale earlier.
There are marks in the grass, as though some heavy wire object had been set there. Gabriel is all... There's nothing worth magnifying. Gabriel doesn't need to use that on the clay banks.
You know, in New Orleans, they have good music. It's true.
It's extremely big sand. There's nothing worth magnifying in that particular... It's extremely big sand. There's nothing worth magnifying in that particular location. It's very large.
There's nothing on my body that would require the use of a magnifying glass.
I don't like how he said that. I don't like how he said that. I don't like how he said that.
There's nothing... It's Gabriel.
That's Tim Curry. That's not Mark Hamill. Wait, this was Clay, right?
Is that clay? Yuck.
Okay, that is something that we needed.
There's nothing... Patches of grass have managed to survive life on the banks of Lake
Magnifying. Yeah, I don't like... He just sounded...
Gabriel is on the sand and clay shore of Lake Pontchartrain.
I'm okay.
At the site where some poor bastard got to see who the voodoo murdered at. Really now. The site is now deserted. The grass has a matted appearance there.
Yeah, which we've looked at that.
There are marks in the grass.
Yeah, okay. Well, crap. I don't even know if we can get in the Getty reference. Also, I don't like how it's just dead silent. Alright, we never really got a proper look in here.
Aye.
Uh-huh. The poster reads, "Power will be yours when you use Papa Legba's power drawing incense and master power oil. Buy some today." The sign says power items. The sign says potion ingredients. These jars must be for do-it-yourselfers. The glass jars contain a number of things Gabriel can't identify.
And wouldn't want to.
Oh, it's not that
The
bad.
Dixieland drugstore is crammed from top to bottom with strange merchandise, some or all of which seems to be related to the practice of voodoo.
Who do you voodoo, bitch?
It's a mannequin wearing a crocodile mask. The Dixieland drugs, in this case, are super concentrated fixing oils and packages of pins.
What about here?
Lodestone powder. 5-finger grass. Something tells me I'm not in Kansas anymore.
Herbal oils for love, luck, power, and success.
Are these those essential oils that everybody just memes about?
Root bags, curio boxes, and magic candles, sold as curios only. We can guarantee results.
What are these?
Ropes of garlic hanging from the ceiling.
Okay.
I'll know where to come if I ever have a vampire problem.
I do not say blah blah blah. I don't know.
The entire shelf is stocked with containers of High John the Conqueror root powder.
How to align your chalk wearers in one easy fab. I
The
don't know.
dust on those boxes is older than Gabriel.
I wonder how old he's supposed to be anyway. Hey, sir. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I still don't have my my alerts set up on this thing. I hope you're doing all right today. We're just kind of poking around and looking at stuff.
The shelf holds containers of dried items, flowers, grass, black cat bones.
Please note, I don't think those are actually black cat bones. I think that's just kind of a terminology. No, like, you know how you hear Eye of Newt is actually supposed to be a type of root that's used? It's not an actual newt's eye.
This case holds candles with names like Love Drawing Candle, Confusion Candle, and Black Devil Candle.
If only they sold a figure out what the hell is going on candle.
Well, that's usually an amethyst for clarity and... never mind.
The signs say, Special Saint Jean Eve, Lagnappe, free bottle of lover come back to me oil, or master gambling oil, with every purchase over $50.
Lagniappe. My French is lousy, but everyone in New Orleans knows what that means. A little something extra.
It's nearly as old as the one at St. George's. A variety of cloth dolls are arranged above the shelf, each impaled with a single silver pin.
That was needlessly dramatic. Toadswort is also a plant, not an animal thing. Yeah, I think a lot of a lot of that terminology is like that. It's like, it sounds like, you know, oh, I've newt and wort of toad, and it's like, it's a plant. It's a plant. You don't have to freak out about it. No animals were harmed in the making of this. Let's see,
The dust on the Dixieland drugstore.
Alright, I don't think there's anything else
The
in here.
Dixie.
Lodestone powder.
I actually have lodestone oil, which is one of the bottles of oil that I've got.
Can I ask you just a few more questions?
Whatever, man.
It's important that I talk to Map. Tell me about how did you get in?
Why should I discuss?
St. John's Eve.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
It's the biggest night of the year.
What goes on exactly?
I couldn't say.
Yeah, I don't have any lodestones, but I do have, like, lodestone oil.
What's the significance?
I've said all.
Okay, he's not gonna tell us anymore.
Gabriel cannot.
Hey, if you believe, you can. You could interrogate a door. People are gonna look at you oddly, but you can interrogate a door. It's possible. Alright, let's go see Mosley then. Eventually it'll open up, yeah. Yo, Mosley!
Hey, hey, hey. It's you, God help me.
Now, Joe, that's Mark Hamill. What's up,
Can I ask you
Mosley?
about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
He looks nice. Let's talk to him.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
There's voodoo that goes on in this city, sure. I looked into it a bit at the beginning of this case. But the voodoo stuff found at the crime scenes is all faked. It doesn't have anything to do with the real stuff. I know. I asked some experts. It's intimidation tactics, that's all.
Now let's see. This game has Tim Curry, it has Mark Hamill, it has Michael Dorn. Like, there's one hell of a voice cast here. It's great. Okay, sorry about that. I wanted to check. Does it have a can of soda as the filter? You know, it does sound like that. Anything else?
What can you tell me about voodoo?
I told you, don't...
Okay.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Lots. Can you be more specific?
Do you know anything about the killers?
At least 20 people attend the killings. We know this from the variety of footprints found at the scene.
Footprints? Aren't those as good as fingerprints?
Can be, but we'd have to have a suspect in custody first, and the suspect would have to match one of the few distinct prints we have. Most of the footprints are smudged, trodden over, unreadable. These guys are so casual in their expertise, it's maddening. Like they know we'll never find them.
How many murders have there been so far?
7 murders have so far been linked to the Voodoo Murders case. Now, the first murder occurred about 8 weeks ago. The M.O. is the same in each murder. Lake Pontchartrain was a 7th.
What kind of evidence have you found?
No fingerprints, a few bare footprints. Found a few fibers, but not many. The weirdest one was leopard fur.
Leopard fur?
The way he says that, it sounds so weird. Leopard fur?
Describe the crime scenes.
Now there's the corpse itself, minus the heart. Around where the body was killed, we find marks and flour and blood. There are traces of wax from candles, red and black. Ordinary wax candles, so the lab reports. Also blood and feathers of chickens. Also goat's blood. And plenty of the victim's own, of course.
What does the coroner say?
What's the coroner say?
The victim's heart is always ripped out of the chest and missing. We haven't located a single one of them.
Lovely. Any idea what they do with them?
Wait, I just realized.
Don't even want to know. Also, the coroner says some of the victims had heart attacks before the incision. Literally scared to death. The knife wounds are consistent with a long, narrow, wavy-edged knife. Probably a ritualistic dagger.
I just realized 7 hearts, 7 murders, 7 souls. Undertale confirmed.
Any witnesses?
Nope. There's never been a single witness. No one's even heard a disturbance. It's damned weird. Like they just don't want people to see, and so nobody sees nothing.
Know anything about the victims?
The victims are all out-of-towners. We still don't know why.
Well, isn't that simple though? Cause like, if they're not from around there, then what's the chance of people like really looking into it? Cause like, keep in mind, this is like the early 90s, so you know, quick communication was just not a thing like it is now. So it would make sense if they target out-of-towners, because it would be a while before anybody would really report them as missing, you know what I'm saying? And then by then, it would be too late.
Oh, nothing, never mind.
Sure, no problem.
I put way too much thought into that. Anyway, Nolans.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
You and me grew up together, you tell me.
They were
It's
uncivilized
a pretty
people in the
nice
90s.
place, even seeing the stuff I see. You know. The quarter's getting a bit too wild, though. Getting hard to control. Not quite what it was when you and me used to hang here, but hell, I've never known anything else.
What can...
I'm too sentimental to say anything else about it.
Oh, snakes?
Do you know anything about snakes?
The only thing I know about snakes is I don't like them.
They have fancy pagers in 93. I did, yeah, I did.
Do you know anything?
The only...
St. John's Eve?
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
That's coming up, isn't it? We get some occasional weirdness in the quarter, but nothing much. Used to have a lot of strange things happen, though, or so I hear.
Capri Cinco?
Do you have any idea what Capri Cinco means?
Hell no. Is that French? My mother spoke it, but I always had a hard enough time just speaking English.
True enough.
Oh, harsh.
What?
I don't know.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Is she that red-headed chick that works at Freddy's?
No.
Then I don't know her.
Oh my.
Tell me about you.
For the book? Sure, why not? Okay, what do you want to know?
How'd you like working on the police force?
Are you kidding? You know I love being a cop. In New Orleans, it's the best place in the world to be one.
What are your plans for the future?
Well, you know, I don't like to count my chickens before they're hatched, but I don't see why I can't be the chief of police in New Orleans someday. I already know the mayor, and my record is one of the best in the department.
I'm sure it's just a matter of moments, mostly.
Yeah, you'll see.
Got any hobbies?
Yeah, making your life miserable.
I'm serious. Don't you shoot or chew or something like that?
No, I'm a freaking ballet dancer. Chief. Yeah, I was #1 at the Louisiana State Fair Marksman Contest. I play trumpet, too. You know, put your lips together and blow.
I mean, yes.
How's your home life?
Oh, real funny, Knight. Why don't you just bring in some freaking salt? Well, you know Andy left me. My home life is shit.
Right. Sorry about that. Just tell me anything at all.
Remember how we used to play monkey in the middle? We used to piss off our senior year teacher. What was her name? Ms. McKelly? You'd act like you were gonna toss her an eraser or something. Then you'd throw it to me over her head. And we used to do it at your grand's, too. Like with the remote when she wanted to watch your soaps.
Yep, and it was a great way to pick up women in the library. Oh, those were the days.
That's weird. These guys are weird. That was weird.
Just tell me anything at all.
You know, my doctor told me I've got a little family of ulcers starting. I wish this case would end so I could get some rest for a change.
Just tell me anything at all.
My back hurts.
Just tell me anything at all.
For the book, I wanted to be an astronaut when I was young. Or a fireman.
Fascinating.
I'm not weird. Oh, okay.
Just tell
yeah,
me
I am.
anything
I
at
am
all.
weird, but I embrace it.
6'2".
You are not.
Oh, come on. I'm close enough. Just wrap me up that way.
Oh, God.
These two must be great at parties.
Just tell me anything at all.
You know, I kind of like women with dark hair.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
no.
know. It's a regular thing with you.
Oh, no.
Now
Ah,
that Grace.
You're on your own with that one, pal. I don't even want to know.
Just tell me anything at all.
Remember how we used to play monkey in the middle?
Oh, nothing. Never. What's the status on the Voodoo murders case?
It's going.
I'm saying,
Don't
oh, no,
seem to
'cause
make
I
any
have dark hair.
progress, though. Sluggish damn case. It's weird.
Anything else?
What's the status on the Voodoo?
You're as filled in as me.
Coffee?
How about getting me some coffee?
Coffee? You want coffee?
Should that surprise you?
Man, you've always been a caffeine addict. It's just that what we got here hardly qualifies.
So, I'm desperate.
It's your stomach. I'll get you some when we're done talking.
That long?
All right, I'll go now.
Oh, apparently I needed to do that.
Don't touch anything while I'm gone.
Naturally, we have to touch everything.
Mostly's desk has more grunt. The desk is back. The desk is...
Oh, he's coming back.
Here, drink it.
Thanks. Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're
Touches
right.
everything.
Ask away.
Yes. Alright, let's talk about the photographs.
I got those photographs you left for me.
Really?
The cat house.
Great. What'd you think?
Astonishingly lifelike.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Got any more ideas for photos for the book?
A cop author thought the photo might be nice. You and me? Together? Why not? Of course, you'll have to try to tone down your masculinity.
Well, okay. I'll call the police photographer.
Motherfuck! Okay. I'm just gonna, like, start grabbing shit.
Franks, come here a minute, would you? Bring your camera.
Okay.
What did you need, Detective Mosley?
We need a picture, please. And make it a good one, huh, sweetheart?
Sure, sweetheart.
Struck a pose.
Say,
Vogue!
fancy.
Was there anything else, Knight?
Let's take another one.
Christ. Okay. One more. Franks?
Ready?
Maybe he
Smile.
doesn't recognize you. Aw.
Okay. Anything else?
Okay,
Nope, I think not.
Good. See you, Franks.
Uh-huh.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
Do you know anything about the patterns around the bodies?
Yeah, weird, huh? All 7 victims had those little marks around. We got all the marks on file, but we haven't figured out what, if anything, they mean.
Can I see the other 6 patterns?
Sure. People like that kind of stuff, don't they? Might make the book seem more mysterious. Go talk to Officer Franks. Tell her I said you can see the file.
insult him? No, that's mean.
How about getting me some coffee?
What am I? Hey, yeah, fine. Some people are never satisfied.
Alright,
It's not Gabriel's size. Gabriel would... It's not Gabriel... Gabriel would prefer to touch us.
crap, I was thinking there was something else that I could have grabbed there, but maybe not.
Here, drink it.
Thanks.
Post-it notes on the computer, yeah?
Can I ask you about some...
You're the right...
Alright, is there anything else?
I got those photos.
So you said. Did you think of any...
Let's take... What? I don't think we got...
Really?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, because I think if I remember
Thanks.
correctly...
Come back in here with that camera.
We do need to go to talk to Franks, but there is something in here we need, and I don't really know what it is.
Now what, sir?
That clown wants another picture. You don't mind, do you?
Of course not. What else could I possibly have to do?
Anything else, Knight?
Hold on a sec while I go check my hair.
Good God, Knight, make it fast.
It's an inbox.
Can I yoink it without this guy knowing?
There's nothing of interest.
Okay.
Would you just get in here?
Wow.
Hurry up, would you?
Oh, no, I hadn't.
Okay, ready.
Thanks, hon. Let me know when you got it developed. The photos, that is.
Yeah, sure.
What? Did he just... That was a dick thing to say. Holy shit.
Well, I'll be seeing you.
Ciao, baby.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed that. Outside Mosley's office door. Oh. Oh, the guy that was over here. Okay. Is there anything over here?
There's a temperature gauge on the wall near Mosley's office. The security cage has been removed by the electrician.
Well, now we have to touch it.
Gabriel can't.
Go over there then.
Why move? There's a temperature gauge on the wall near Mosley's office.
I think it was because
it has been removed by the electrician.
I think it was just because this was just treating it as one wall right here.
Hey, mostly.
It's you, God help me. Whew, it's hot. Dang, the air conditioning must be on the blink.
A cool 90 degrees. Hey, Pip.
Are you hot? Man, I'm hot.
Yeah, it sucks, CG. Like, I can't listen to the radio right now because they're already starting to do
You're the right
pre-election stuff here. And it's like I can't listen to the radio at work without hearing an ad, and it's really kind of annoying. Oh, I know what I need to get.
No,
Please, please.
all right.
I have to steal the badge.
Some people are never satisfied.
I think I'll just borrow this badge.
I wouldn't mind Spotify badges.
Hey, what are you doing with my coat?
Spotify badges?
I thought I saw
Spotify
something crawling
ads.
on it.
I know what I meant. I wouldn't mind Spotify ads so much, but we're talking like political
drink
ads.
this.
And it's just, all it is just a bunch of mudslinging, and it's like, can you just not?
Thanks. Tons. I mean it.
If only saying pretty please got me this far in life. I know, right? That would be nice. Okay, so I need to
The
actually
suit doesn't...
go back out, and I need to talk to Franks. We're gonna call this one okay dot JPEG. There. All right, we'll talk to Franks.
Can I ask you a few questions, ma'am?
I'm sorry, sir, but I really have to
Are
finish these
Spotify ads
reports.
political too? I don't really know.
Excuse me, officer.
Yes?
Can you get a file for me?
What file would that be?
The Voodoo Murders file? Detective Mosley said I could see it.
Really? Well, if he said so. There it is. You can look at it all you want, but don't leave this area with it, okay? And no photocopies either, I'm afraid.
Of course. I understand completely.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I'm done.
Yeah, thanks.
Whoa!
You've already got me, you lucky devil.
He just swooshed over there. Holy crap. Why was he moving so fast? Hey, Wazaka, how's it going? Watching the kitty eat with his paw, that's cute. I miss having a kitty.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
No, I'm alright, just playing this game. Insult him!
Have you ever called the hair club for men?
I'd rather have no hair than your hair, Knight.
So how'd you ever find anything in this office? It looks like ground zero.
Hey, I get my job done. I'm a detective, not Betty Crocker.
Damn, son.
Trying for a real estate job with that coat?
No. Are you trying out for a
Ow,
janitorial
that
job
hurt.
with that
Sorry.
hair?
Wow.
Are those new shoes? What are those, hush puppies? Kind of a mud brown suede kind of a thing?
Hey, I'm on my feet all day, all right? Is that okay with you?
Mostly. I'm being perfectly sincere.
Perfectly
Yeah,
sincere.
you and my grandmother. Right.
Damn, son. Oops. All right, let's see here.
I got those photographs.
So you say?
Let's take a... What? I don't think we got...
Really?
Okay, so I remember something about a photocopier. He
Franks,
mentioned that.
Come back in here with that camera.
She's gonna get so angry at us. She's gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Now what, sir?
That clown wants another picture. You don't mind, do you?
Of course not. What else could I possibly have to do?
Anything else, Knight?
Hold on a sec while I go check my hair.
Good God, Knight, make it fast.
No, you called me a janitor, you asshole. Let's see, pick that up.
Let me see that file again.
Now we're gonna take the file, and we're gonna use it on that thing.
Just want to check this machine here.
We prefer the term custodian. Yes, exactly. Alright,
It looks a bit heavy. Gabriel, can... It looks a...
do I have the copies? Okay, I do. What the?
Would you just get in here?
He doesn't look suspicious at all, I know.
Hurry
right?
up, would you?
Can't listen to that
Okay,
jingle and not hear the
ready.
State Farm theme. Oh my god. Let me tell you,
Thanks, honey.
I'm not a fan of
Let me
State
know
Farm,
when
and
you
I'll
guys
tell you
develop.
why.
The photos, that is.
Yeah, sure.
See, I applied for a job at State Farm when I was still job hunting, and instead of calling me back for like an interview or something, what they did was they had taken my number and
Unfortunately.
had
Can I
basically
ask you
sent
about
it
some
to like
stuff?
other
You're the writer. Ask
companies
away.
in the area, and I was getting phone calls like from people trying to sell me insurance. And it's like, dude, I cannot buy your insurance because I don't have a job. Stop calling.
Tell me about yourself.
What else?
Just tell me.
Remember how we used to play
Oh, nothing, no.
It's your...
Have you ever called? Do you have any?
Hell no. Is that French? My mother spoke.
Cabrice and
Do you
Cor.
have any idea what Caprice Girl means?
Hell no. Is that...
True enough.
Alright. Yeah, they did that, and I was not very happy about it.
Well, I'll be seeing you.
Have a good one.
Okay, I think we got everything we need here right now. Oh,
Gabriel cannot open or close that.
we should be nice to Mosley and go back over here, actually, now that I think about it. Wait, one more photo? That's both mean and hilarious, and I'm tempted to do it, but nah. I don't think we can now, actually.
Gabriel decides to give Mosley a break and not change the temperature again.
Oh, I was gonna change it back, but okay. Let's go bother Officer Frick.
Got a second, officer?
What can I do you for?
Tell me about yourself.
I hate people who ask stupid questions.
Yeah. This would be funny, though, if you could do that and they just get very angry at you.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
Bunch of crazies out there on St. John's Eve, that's what. We're busy all night.
Really? What kind of crazies?
Your usual howl at the mooners, I guess. They don't look no weirder than them that comes in during Mardi Gras.
Never can tell, though.
That's the face of a man who's waiting for his retirement. Yes.
Do you know anything about snakes?
What does this look like? A zoo? Never mind, don't answer that. No, I don't know nothing about no snakes.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Marie who? Is she the one that hangs out on Conti and Nash?
What?
No. Never mind.
I have questions, but I'm not gonna get answers from him. There's an Easter egg in the part you previously played that the mind follows you. You feel the mind follow you very often, over 20 times. Gabriel gets really pissed off. Oh, that's amazing.
She's not bad.
The desk sergeant looked like a poster boy for heart disease. 30 extra pounds between his armpits and his belt, and a complexion of consistency of grey oatmeal. In other words, a typical product of good southern cooking. There's a photocopy machine in the office area. People can't read the bulletin board from...
Oh yeah, should I actually go check that out while I'm here?
Gabriel scans the bulletin board and sees a lot of bad photographs and worse writing.
Amazing. Hey, so real quick, I'm gonna take a brief AFK, and I'll be back with a little bit more, so give me a second. Put up my BRB. Do I have a BRB? I thought I had a BRB. Oh my god, I don't have a BRB. I'll just leave you with the start stream, so I'll be right back.